Hi, I'm Natasha.
I'm Cole.
I'm Adrian.
Our video is on the US China emissions agreement that was just announced a few weeks ago. We thought it'd be interesting to see what the future populace of our country has to say about it, so we interviewed students on campus about the agreement.
In a nutshell, the agreement states that the United States is going to start reducing carbon emissions now, so that by 2025, our emissions will be 26 to 28% less than our 2005 levels. Meanwhile, China will continue to emit and is not required to reduce their total carbon footprint until 2030.
The question we ask students is if they think it's fair that China doesn't have to start reducing their total emissions until 2030, while the US, according to the agreement, is required to start working at it now.
Let's go take a look.
I don't think it's fair, but I mean, life isn't fair.
That's not a fair deal.
It doesn't really seem fair at all. I don't understand where the thought. Like, why would the U.S. agree to that?
I understand where they're coming from. I mean, we've had years to just grow, burn carbon. I mean, the Industrial Revolution. That's how we grew. That's how we partially became the country we are today. And it's not fair that we have to reduce it, but I understand it. But it also wouldn't be fair if we said that China couldn't take advantage of their natural resources to grow as well.
As China was developing later than America, as well as India right now, so both are in the developing stage. So they need to come to that level that other world like the first world countries like Europe and the US are in right now.
I think they should definitely keep an eye out on how much carbon dioxide or any of those other bad elements that they're putting into the atmosphere. I feel they should reduce, but we shouldn't starve them from growing.
When US and Europe have already done their emissions and then are at the other stage right now trying to reduce it. But then when other countries that are in development stages, when they have to come up, their growth is limited because they have to reduce it. If it's just about fairness, then I would say it's not fair.
You know, from an industrial standpoint, they do have an advantage cost-wise and everything, but they do more manufacturing than we do as a country.
So you don't want China to keep breaking their emissions, but what if I told you that all of our products and devices come from China, and then if they don't use all of their emissions, then their productivity is going to go down, and your shoes or your phone, you wouldn't have those. And would you still stand by your answer, even though you'd have to take?
Yes, maybe it can benefit our society in the sense that a lot of outsourcing that happens of goods can maybe be brought back to the U.S. If you look at it that way. So the whole point of reducing emissions is to help the environment in that sense, right? We won't be helping the environment if we're letting China do double of what they already are.
Right.
It balances out.
Right. They're still emitting more than us. I don't get why they can't start themselves now. It's kind of I wouldn't even trust that they would start decreasing after they reach such a high point.
Do you think that this is fair? You don't? Oh, okay.
Did he talk to you?
Yeah, I hear him.
I don't know if that happened.
China is 3 times the size of the U.S. in terms of population, so they're going to be producing more emissions in the first place. So I think if anything, they should be starting earlier than this.
Okay.
But I also think that they have, since they have a bigger population, they have more stuff going on. It'd be too hard for them just to quit like us.
Well, I mean, I don't think they need to necessarily quit.
Not quit, but it'd be too drastic.
It would be a drastic change, but it's something that they could definitely do. If they made the effort.
We industrialized before China, right? So we had more of a head start.
It's so childish. It's like if he had a big, a normal size cookie, I'd be yo, I want the same big size cookie. Let me get that. You can eat yours, but I also want that later. Yeah, exactly. So it's just childish.